Unearth the terrifying truths behind 5 of the most chilling and gruesome Halloween murders that sent shivers down spines. Welcome back to our channel, folks. Today, we're diving into a chilling and macabre topic, the 5 most gruesome Halloween murders. Halloween is supposed to be a night of fun, frights, and festivities, but for the victims in these horrifying cases, it became a night of unspeakable terror. So without further ado, let's begin. Napa Valley's murders. On Halloween 2004, roommates Adrian Insogna, Leslie Mazzara, and Lauren Mianza had just wrapped up their candy distribution for trick-or-treaters. As the clock neared 11 p.m., a nightmarish encounter unfolded. Lauren Mianza, the sole resident of the first-floor bedroom, heard strange noises from upstairs, and her curiosity led her to a gruesome discovery. She stumbled upon the aftermath of a horrifying crime. Her roommates were brutally attacked by an intruder. With the screams of her friends still echoing in her ears, Lauren managed to escape the house through the back door, fearing for her own life. As the police and emergency services arrived, Leslie Mazzara was pronounced dead, but Adrian Insogna clung to life. The search for the killer began. The investigation proved relentless, with over 1,300 interviews conducted and 218 DNA samples collected. After 11 painstaking months, a breakthrough emerged. In September 2005, authorities announced a match between the blood DNA at the scene and cigarette butts found outside. To everyone's surprise, the cigarette brand was the rare Camel Turkish Gold. This revelation, together with the DNA match, led to the arrest of Eric Koppel on September 27th. The motive for the murders remained a mystery. Eric Koppel, husband of Adrienne's friend Lily Prudhoe, ultimately confessed to the murders of Leslie and Adrian. He was sentenced to life in prison with no possibility of parole, avoiding the death penalty. Liske Family Murder. Our next gruesome Halloween tale takes us to Sandusky, Ohio, in 2010. A family's life was torn apart on that fateful night. 16-year-old Devin Griffin. Liske returned home after Sunday choir practice, expecting a normal evening with his family. However, when he entered the master bedroom, he found his mother, Susan Liske, and stepfather, William E. Liske, lying lifeless in bed, their heads concealed under a maroon comforter. It soon became apparent that a gruesome tragedy had unfolded. William Liske was shot 5 times in the head and face, while Susan had been violated and shot at close range. In a chilling twist, Devin's brother Derek was found dead upstairs, presumably from blunt force trauma. William B.J. Liske Jr., the son of William Liske, was immediately identified as a suspect. He had a history of violent behavior and had been in trouble with the law before. After a series of disturbing events, the family's worst fears were realized. In 2011, William Liske Jr. pled guilty to 3 counts of aggravated murder and was sentenced to life in prison. However, his story took a dark turn on March 31, 2050, when he was found dead in his cell, an apparent suicide. Murder of Marvin Brandland. Our next story takes us back to Fort Dodge, Iowa in 1982. A loving, elderly couple's lives took a tragic and gruesome turn on the night of October 30th. Marvin and Ethel Brenton, married for over 40 years and known for their kindness, enjoyed participating in Halloween traditions, such as handing out candy to trick-or-treaters. On that fateful night, their granddaughter, Teresa Trueblood, had just left their home after enjoying a visit. But when she departed, little did she know that her world would be shattered. Marvin and Ethel were approached by an armed intruder who demanded money while wearing a makeshift mask. What unfolded was a horrifying ordeal that led to a tragic end. Forced into the basement by the intruder, the couple was coerced to reveal the location of their safe. The confrontation turned violent, and the intruder fatally shot Marvin in the throat. The tragedy unfolded, leaving the family in despair. Despite ongoing suspicions and a name provided by the family, the case remains unsolved. The family continues to seek justice, even though the killer may still be out there. Beheading of Patricia Ward. Our next tale is an unspeakable act of violence committed by a son against his own mother. The beheading of Patricia Ward is a gruesome story of mental health struggles gone terribly wrong. Derek Ward, a deeply troubled individual, battled mental health issues for over a decade. He'd spent 6 weeks in a psychiatric facility following a breakdown triggered by his grandfather's death. Derek often claimed to hear voices, and his life was marred by struggles with ADHD and dyslexia. To make matters worse, he couldn't read for most of his life, with Patricia, a language teacher at Farmingdale State College, teaching him how to read. Despite all his issues, Derek had never shown aggression toward his mother. He was dependent on her for care and support. However, in October 2014, financial difficulties prevented Patricia from affording Derek's required psychiatric appointments and medication. Derek's mental state deteriorated rapidly, and he became increasingly irritable and aggressive. Tragically, on Halloween night, his agitation escalated to a horrifying climax. He brutally murdered his mother, Patricia Ward, and decapitated her with the same knife used in the murder. Overwhelmed by guilt and grief, Derek briefly regained control of his mind, realizing the horrific act he had committed. In a desperate act, he took his own life by jumping in front of an oncoming train, leaving behind a scene of unspeakable horror. Patricia did everything she could to get her son the help he needed, but in the end, she paid the price in the most gruesome way imaginable. The man who killed Halloween. In 1974, a chilling Halloween murder sent shockwaves across the nation, forever staining the holiday's innocence. The perpetrator of this gruesome act was Ronald Clark O'Brien, an unassuming father and church deacon. Despite his seemingly ordinary life, working as an optician in Sharpstown, Houston, and being actively involved in his local church, Ronald harbored a sinister plan. On October 31, 1974, he took out life insurance policies on his two children, Timothy and Elizabeth, each with a substantial $10,000 accidental death coverage. What raised eyebrows was his insistence on paying the premiums in cash, a method typically associated with secrecy. But Ronald's malevolent intentions went beyond insurance fraud. While out trick-or-treating with his children and their friends, Ronald stopped at a house and claimed the homeowner was taking their time inside. Upon his return, he handed out candy, including 5 pixie sticks, to the children. Tragically, one of these pixie sticks contained a lethal dose of cyanide. Timothy consumed the deadly candy and fell seriously ill, revealing his father's sinister plan. Timothy's death sparked widespread fear among parents, who began questioning the safety of Halloween candy. Ronald was arrested and eventually found guilty. In 1984, he faced the ultimate punishment: execution by lethal injection, leaving behind a chilling legacy as the Candyman murderer. These stories are a stark reminder that even on a night meant for fun and festivities, the darkness of human nature can surface. As we reflect on these gruesome Halloween murders, let us not forget the victims and their families who continue to seek justice and healing. If you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more content, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our upcoming episodes. Stay safe and remember, Halloween is a night for fun, but it's essential to be cautious. Until next time, keep your doors locked and your candy inspected. Goodbye.